9 p.m. Cairo local time. Welcome to our daily press insight, where we shed light to the local articles, newspapers. We start reading from Egypt today, and now we start with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi affirmed that Egyptian armed forces are fully prepared and ready to defend Egypt and its resources with capabilities against any external threat. The president made these remarks as he attended a ceremony marking the anniversary of the Prophet's Mohammed's birth, Al-Mawlid al-Nabawi, at the Strategic Command headquarters in the new capital on Wednesday. El-Sisi said he is closely and continuously monitoring the armed forces' combat readiness and field capabilities. He added that his attention extends beyond the military to other state affairs, with other focus on improving conditions, addressing long-standing problems and resolving shortcomings in public services. The president assured the Egyptian people about the vigilance of the Egyptian state and all agencies regarding everything related to our national security. We read from Okay, we have a phone call with our dear guest, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, international relations expert. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. So the article that we just read, the main headline behind it is the Sisi and the armed forces are ready to defend Egypt. So could you tell me, how does the president's reassure about the national security reflects the broader role of state institutions in protecting Egypt's stability and resources?
Well, we can say this is a classic dual-purpose message on the security front. It serves as a public reassurance and a deterrent signals aimed at highlighted regional instability, Gaza-related pressures, West Bank development, and the ongoing U.S.-Iran conflict affecting the wider Middle East. By delivering the remarks after the religious military event in the new capital, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi links traditional legitimacy, military strength, and modern state building. The inclusion of domestic governance points serves living standards, softens the military tones, and reinforces the regime narrative of comprehensive state competence. In the current environment, such statements helps manage public anxiety and signal to external actors that Egypt will not tolerate threats to its borders or resources, notably Sinai and the Suez Canal. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi stated during Al-Mawlid al-Nabawi ceremony at the Strategic Command headquarters in the new administrative capital that Egypt's armed forces are fully prepared and ready to defend Egypt and its resources with capability against any external threats. He emphasized continuous monitoring of combat readiness and field capability, while also stressing prudent state vigilance on national security and efforts to improve public service and living conditions.
Yes, of course. Moving on to another article from Al-Ahram today, and we read as Chinese President Xi Jinping will make an official visit to Egypt in the coming days for talks with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. The Egyptian presidency said on Wednesday the trip will be Xi's first to Egypt since he visited Cairo in 2016, and he comes as the two countries remark the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations. The presidency said that the Xi and el-Sisi will discuss ways to strengthen strategic partnership between two countries across various fields of mutual interests. The two leaders will also exchange views on several regional and international issues. The presidency did not announce the visit's exact date or duration. Egypt and China elevated their relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership in 2014 during a Sisi state visit in Beijing in May 2024. The two leaders launched the Egypt-China Partnership Year and reaffirmed that 24 to 28 executive program for the partnership. Moreover, economic cooperation has expanded. Earlier in August, Egyptian companies signed 17 export contracts worth about 168 million US dollar with Chinese buyers, covering agriculture products, textiles, minerals, and engineering goods. So, could you tell me which areas of cooperation, economic, political, technological, or defense, are likely to see the greatest development following the talks between President Sisi and Xi Jinping?
Well, this visit underscores Egypt's deliberate diversification of strategic partnership beyond traditional Western allies. China offers capital, technology, infrastructure, expertise, and an unconditional political relationship that appeals to Cairo preference for sovereignty focused diplomacy. Timing is notable. It occurs against the backdrop of the Gaza's war, residential pressure, Sinai as a red line, concerns and the global energy security disruption linked to the Strait of Hormuz. For Egypt, the visit reinforces economic and military cooperation evidenced by the recent joint air drills, while providing political cover and potential investment inflows. For China, it consolidates influence in a key Mediterranean African gateway state and aligns with Peking broader global South outreach. The lack of the press's public data suggests controlled messaging typical of high-level China's diplomacy.
Yes, of course. Moving on to another article from Egyptian Gazette, and we read as Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli reviewed on Wednesday developments in oil and gas production, strategic petroleum reserves and future supplies, stressing the importance of maintaining market stability and ensuring the continued availability of petroleum products for productive and service sectors. During the weekly cabinet meeting at the new capital, Madbouli said President Sisi had directed the provision of necessary incentives to foreign partners to expand exploration and development activities, increase production, and overcome obstacles facing work programs. He added that the government is translating petroleum sector objectives into executive programs and measurable indicators to maximize the added value of mineral resources and their contribution to the national economy. The Prime Minister also highlighted President Sisi meeting with any CEO, during which the company's activities and future plans were reviewed, including intensified exploration and development drilling in 26 to 27. Madbouli also affirmed that the government will implement presidential directives on market monitoring, expanding government outlets, and establishing at least one outlet in every city to provide basic commodities at affordable prices. The meeting covered preparations for the 2026 to 27 academic year, affordable school supply exhibitions, controlling school expenses, improving university education and hospital services, and developing student skills. So, can you tell me, can Egypt's effort to expand exploration and strengthen gas trading and liquefaction reinforce its position as a regional energy hub?
Well, this is primarily an energy security and economic stability briefing. Egypt continues to position itself as a regional energy hub despite domestic production challenges and the global market volatility exacerbated by the Hormuz situation, highlighting incentive for foreign partners and any meeting signals a pragmatic engagement with the international oil companies to boost output and reserves. The dual focus on production, export, and domestic price market controls reflects the government's needs to balance foreign exchange earning with social stability in a period of regional conflict and potential further energy price swing. maintaining strategic reserve and supply continuity is framed as a core national priority. The announcement of a public achievement report in October also serves a domestic political communication functions. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli reviewed oil and gas production, strategic petroleum reserves, and future supplies during the weekly cabinet meeting. Emphasis was placed on market stability, incentive for foreign partners to expand exploration, overcoming operational obstacles, and consolidating Egypt's role as a regional gas trading, liquefaction, and export hub. Reference was made to His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi recent meeting with any CEO and plans for instance field drilling in 2026-2027, additional point cover market monitoring.
Yes, of course. Moving on to a different article from Egypt Today, and we read as Egypt will not allow the displacement of Palestinians from the Gaza Strip into Sinai. Foreign Minister Badr Abdel stressed that in a TV remark this week. Abdel remark was to make Al-Ain News when asked whether Egypt could allow Palestinians from Gaza to be displaced into Sinai. Abdel said Egypt has communicated its position to the Israelis and the United States, stressing that issue constitutes one of the Cairo's red lines. He said this is not an option and this is one of our red lines. The Egyptian top diplomat warned that such a move would amount to the liquidation of the Palestinian cause and effectively bring it to an end. The ministry added that the displacement of Palestinians would also have repercussions for Egypt, further underscoring Cairo's firm rejection of the proposal. Egypt has repeatedly rejected Israeli proposals to forcibly relocate Palestinians from Gaza to Sinai since Israeli war on the enclave began on October 2023. The war now is under a ceasefire marred by a nearly daily Israeli violation which have killed more than 73,000 people, pushed Gaza to the brink of famine and devastated hospitals and critical infrastructures, leaving conditions across much of the enclave unlivable and raising fears of mass displacement. So could you tell me what role can Egypt play internationally in preventing forced displacement while supporting a political solution based on Palestinian statehood?
Well, this reiteration of the hard red line is both defensive and strategic. Egypt views forced on or large-scale displacement in Sinai as an existential threat. It would create a permanent Palestinian population on Egyptian territory, risk instability in the peninsula, undermine the Camp David framework, and effectively end the availability of a two-state solution centered on Palestinian land. By publicly restating the position and confirming it has been conveyed to both Israel and the U.S., Cairo signaled that it will not absorb the demographic and security costs of the conflict. The language liquidation of the Palestinian cause also aligns that Egypt with broader Arab positions while protecting its own national interests in the current ceasefire with violations environment. The statement serves as a primitive deterrent against revived displacement proposals. What's said by Foreign Minister Badr Abdel firmly rejected any displacement of Palestinians from Gaza into Sinai. He calling it a non-negotiable red line. He stated Egypt has communicated this position to Israel and the United States, warning that such a move would liquidate the Palestinian cause and carry negative repercussions. for Egypt itself.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, International Relations Expert. Thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our segment. I'm Alia Diya. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more on Nile TV International.